It's another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Golficity. We're back in HQ once again, and we're talking about Webb Simpson's Father's Day victory at Harbortown. And we're also giving a look ahead to some DFS and betting advice for the Travelers Championship. So let's get into it. All right, so it was quite the Father's Day for Webb Simpson. He's 5 kids, basically the Phillip Rivers of the PGA Tour.
I was going to say that. I saw on Twitter, that's the best comparison I've seen to someone playing golf.
Both from the Carolinas. Both do it, very ugly, but they win.
Very ugly, unconventional. They're not, top of, their game. Not, top of their sport, but they're pretty close. They're as good as you can probably get,
Exactly.
for them.
Mm-hmm. Webb Simpson was when he scored 22 under.
22 under.
Last year was 12 under, so basically.
That just kind of shows you how, the time of year that you play an event kind of.
Yeah, the weather's a lot worse.
And the field's I don't think it has not much to do with it, but the field's better this year than it was last year too.
But I think it's the time of year. The wind wasn't really much of a factor.
Yeah, as well.
There wasn't any wind. Everyone yesterday was just throwing dart after
going
dart
into the weekend. I thought it was supposed to, pick up to 12 miles per hour and more, but it just never did. So, I don't know. Everybody was shooting low. Abraham Answer was shooting low.
Answer literally missed 7
hadn't
greens.
Started even par after Thursday's round.
And he came
all the way back.
Shot 20 under.
JT was finished Friday's round right on the cut line. He was right on the cut.
Yeah.
And he was 17 under.
So Justin Thomas, Dylan Fratelli, who else? Somebody else was just at the very top of the leaderboard that was just not in it all week.
Sergio
was there.
That was so bad because our best bet on both Skins and my best bet on the podcast was Ian Poulter over Sergio Garcia.
Which was looking first round leader.
Great. He was the first round leader. He was 7 under, and Sergio Garcia was 1 under.
Yeah.
Maybe getting cut, but then he just fires off 8 under, 7 under, 5 under to finish or something.
But we didn't even mention we did pick Webb Simpson in our Skins on Golficity.
We did pick Webb Simpson, so that's 2 weeks in a row. Trevor with the Daniel Berger pick last week, and us that was kind of a joint effort with Webb Simpson.
I had to answer this week, and Pat had Tyrrell Hatton. Yeah,
my picks are awful this week. They both missed the cut, and honestly, Harshal was 3 under on cut day, and he still didn't make the cut, which was kind of disappointing. The cut line being at 3 under, it was just
that's
absurd.
Wild. Yeah. I guess that wasn't really anything to do with the podcast, I guess, but our Skins lineup kind of got screwed over by the cut line. Mm-hmm. Both Siwoo Kim is apparently not the Pete Dye guru, but Billy Horschel just was right on the cut line. I think it ended up being 4 under and he was 3 under, so that was
sucks.
Koepka played really good this weekend. I feel he's finally getting back to the form that he is consistently in. I don't know if it's because he cares more because he hasn't played in a while, but maybe it's just to spite Nick Faldo.
Hot take.
It probably is despite Nick Faldo because the beef with him was hilarious. Faldo said he wanted to wait. He's Koepka obviously said let's just we don't need mics on our shirts. You can just if the announcers would shut up and listen to us through the boom mics, you can hear everything. And then Faldo says on one hole after Koepka hits a tee shot, all right, let's take his advice and shut up and listen to what he has to say. And you can't hear anything that Koepka is saying, and then Faldo just says fascinating stuff there.
I'm on Team Koepka there.
Yeah,
I
am too. I don't mind Faldo, but I think Koepka he's just savage. His responses on Twitter were fascinating stuff out there, or in a video, and then thanks for the fascinating times at the RBC Heritage.
I don't know about the announcers shutting up all the time if that's a good idea, but I think they just need new announcers in certain spots.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think they just need
get Tony Romo out there.
They need a Pat McAfee type not actually Pat McAfee, but I'm saying
type of person.
That type of person to transfer over from he does that for the NFL and college football to transfer that over would be kind of cool.
I think the closest thing to have to might be like David Faraday. David Faraday.
That's
he's
exactly
hilarious.
what I was about to say.
Yeah, but he's not young.
He's funny.
Young,
No, but
I don't
he's not young, but he's funny. Like he always does the like really weird, witty remark.
Get Anthony Kim out there.
Yeah.
What happened to Anthony Kim? What's
We
he
don't
doing
know.
Give us
nowadays?
Phil when he retires. Give us Phil out there like doing this. I like
Phil could be good.
Phil could be good.
JT in 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years.
Also,
Whenever he's done.
going back to Kepco, like this point I kind of wanted to make, which we probably should have thought about last week, but I'm pretty sure last week was when the U.S. Open was supposed to be played. So
Maybe he
Koepka-
peaks.
Koepka played well 'cause he was
maybe
peaking at the-
He always peaks on Father's Day. That's
yeah,
it.
he was peaking at the U.S. Open
Possible.
time. So
That's possible.
he played last week like it was
I mean,
a
yeah,
major.
he put a on the short par 4
Ninth hole.
ninth hole. No, was it the ninth hole?
It's ninth hole.
Okay, yeah, he put one to like 3 feet. 2
Yeah,
feet.
McGill. And he
Yeah.
drove it there like one of the other days too.
What was that, like
Yeah.
a 320-yard
Yep.
hole? Like Bryson went 3-wood on that hole and like just
Oh my
was
God.
just short.
Bryson.
Yeah, he's got
Kraken.
to get smarter, like on some of these short courses, on like when to pull driver and when to like even when not to even pull 3-wood. Sometimes he doesn't need like
Just
that
hit an iron.
awkward.
He needs
40-yard shot.
He needs a stinger. That's what he needs. he needs to carry with him stinger.
I don't know if he's gonna be able to hit a
Do you
stick.
think you can teach yourself a stinger through science?
I think if anyone can, he can.
That's
I
true.
guess.
Anyone can. He like maybe that's the one exception to his science rule. Just hit like a stinger.
For
just, like,
with
down the
his
fairway.
swing, it just doesn't seem like he'd be able to.
No.
be able
I was,
to
I
hit
was
a
about to say,
stinger.
like, he doesn't, the way he hits the ball, like, he hits it that, like, it's the same with every club because, like, all of his irons are the same.
That's
length.
true.
So, like, he's like, has pretty much a similar ball flight with every club.
Still,
like,
if he has
given
if he
off.
has like a 2-iron, like that's going to go plenty far, no matter if it's up in the air or not. Like he's gonna kill it.
But it's crazy that he's like shooting this low and being like this much in contention in courses where like he's not even like technically supposed to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
in it.
Like, wait until we get to
No,
an
no, he
actual,
is,
like,
and-
real, like, big, long course.
I don't know when the next one's gonna be because like
Put
this
him
is
at
like one of the
Kapalua,
shortest.
he just dominates it.
Yeah, because did he play it this year?
He probably. I think
He probably played it because he
probably
won on he won on tour last year, I think.
I think so.
But this week is another short course. It's like what 6,800 yards.
It's the second,
Last week was
second.
71.
We're playing the second shortest course on the PGA Tour, which we'll get
What's
into
the
later.
finish
Charles-
letters?
Charles Schwab and this one have been like two of the shortest on tour to start it
And
off,
then-
and then Travelers is pretty short as well.
Second shortest
Oh.
on tour, Travelers.
What's
Yeah.
the first shortest?
I don't even know. One of the
Oh.
courses at Pebble, I think Pebble Beach.
That might make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's
It
a
was
pretty
just because of
short
the
course.
pro am.
Yeah, pro-am short course. Pebble Beach
Right.
is really short.
Yeah, because all scores are so much lower than a U.S. Open would be at
Right.
pro am. But
And then another guy who was just like at it again was Daniel Berger. I think he finished at 20 under.
That chip on 17. I think I tweeted on the Twitter account
yeah,
holy Daniel Berger. Like,
Yeah.
he chipped in on 17, and all of a sudden he's like in
he's
contention
one
there.
shot back, and
Like,
like he's tied for
oh.
the lead at that point.
Yeah, I mean like, I don't know if I'm gonna pick him in DFS this week. I probably should have
He's
thought
not.
about
He's not
it.
playing.
Oh,
He's not
you're
playing this
right.
week, yeah,
Playing.
he's-
Okay, I was saying because we were going over it.
Yeah, because
we wanted to pick
I
him.
think we were trying to find him earlier, and we just couldn't. Like, we're like, why isn't Daniel Berger in any of the matchups?
Yeah, I feel like a good financial decision would just be like keep at it.
Yeah,
Right.
I
Pick the
would. Yeah,
winners.
especially because plus he lost to Jordan in a playoff a few years ago.
Right.
Like he's
yeah.
played well. He's played well here. He knows the course.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know.
Well, Guess not.
I mean, he also just won a tournament, and he can afford to take a week off.
Okay,
now, which
How
is kinda
about
nice
how
for him.
about that weather delay yesterday? Like, we thought we might be having some Monday
golf?
Yeah.
It was coming down the wire. We were watching
Imagine
like
if-
8:36 it ended.
Imagine if that went into a playoff. Like, if Answer made the putt on 18 and made they go into a playoff,
my
it
wow.
probably
They
would have
might
been
have
today.
played one hole.
It probably would have been today.
They might have played one hole.
But
it
I
was
don't know.
getting there.
Yeah. Because it always looks so much
Lighter on
lighter
camera.
on camera.
Mhm.
Like it'll look light on camera, but then you're like, oh no, like you can barely see where your
Well,
ball's
the
going.
problem would have been like, yeah, like you might have been able to play one hole, but like Answer would have had to do like a scoring and everything like that too. It would have been
Yeah.
tight. And Monday with playoff would have been kind of cool. Like I imagine waking up every Monday morning and just like
Yeah,
watching a one hole
I
playoff
guess.
on Golf Channel.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why they don't play in Hilton Head like during this time of the year usually, because you get those thunderstorms like every day.
Yeah, that
So,
makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like probably the same thing with like Florida
Mhm.
this time
Mhm.
as well.
And there was some unfortunate news that came out of RBC Heritage this week. Nick Wadney tested positive for COVID-19 after the first round. He had to withdraw. All people within close contact to him were tested negative, but like
That's good.
so like
news.
that's good at
Caddy-
least.
It's like his caddy and family.
Yeah,
But Hilton
his
had-
caddy and like
and
the people he's playing with in the group.
Literally, like the state of South Carolina is botching
It is.
like COVID so bad right now.
Well, they would show like shots of the beach, like
Packed.
in between,
I remember
and the
seeing
beach
that.
was just packed. Like there's so many people out there.
And this isn't Hilton Head, but like South Carolina in general, because like people are probably filtering back and forth.
Mhm.
Like Clemson
Even
opened up
Florida
everything. Like
too.
their bars were packed for the past like 3
Yeah,
weeks.
and even in Columbia, where I go to school in South Carolina, and like our town, like my friends like are going out, and like there's like stories of them just like at the like regular bars,
Yeah.
everyone inside. It's
Yeah,
just
it's,
not.
Honestly, JT
Not
was,
ideal.
JT had a soundbite this week where he called Hilton Head Island an absolute zoo, and that like people in the area aren't taking like
Yeah, you
COVID
said
seriously.
restaurants are packed, like bars are packed. Like it's just, I don't know. It's
I mean, I wonder if like these types of places are gonna like scare players away from like playing in tournaments.
The ones with families, yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. Like I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, obviously we're going to Cromwell, Connecticut this week, where there's absolutely nothing there. So
yeah. It's
you don't have to worry about that this week. But
Yeah. There's where is that? Like, is that near like Hartford?
Yeah.
it's like middle Connecticut, like
It's middle
Middle of the state.
absolute nowhere.
It's
Nowhere.
so unfortunate that we can't go.
which like yeah, we're from
I
Connecticut.
know.
and
We
we're not gonna be able to go.
live like an hour and a half away, and we can't even go to
This was
it.
supposed to be our coming out party with
It
Jet
was.
Navy.
Yeah, it was.
Chez, we got to
Defending
find
champ.
Chez, defending champ.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, is like plus like 1,700.
Which whatever.
Really?
Like
Yeah.
super super like
Well,
high
he's like one of
odds.
the. He's like a below average like length hitter on tour.
Yeah, he is.
So,
Well, here's the thing. Last year, like when he won it, he was just like it wasn't. I mean, yes, the course probably fits to his game, but he was just on a hot streak when that
Yeah.
happened.
Well,
No,
it's
I
also
guess
the first tournament after the U.S. Open, I think. So like
a lot.
last
A
year,
lot.
so,
A
like,
lot
no
of
one
big
plays in
names.
it.
A
Yeah.
Rory
lot of
played
big
in it.
names don't play in this tournament just because it's after the U.S. Open, especially if you
Not
have to
this
fly.
year, though.
But if you have to fly from, imagine last year you had to fly from Pebble Beach to Connecticut.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
tough.
that's not
Mm.
fun. Debatably one of the best fields we've had so
Oh,
far,
yeah.
though. I
This
think
is-
the only
I
per-
agree. This is
Yeah,
really
I mean
good
we'll get
field.
into it later, but I think we have 33 of the top 40 players are in the field
Yeah,
this week.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So,
No Tiger, obviously, but that's
And then before we get into the Travelers Championship preview, just some Corn Ferry tour news. Chris Kirk won after he stepped away from the game for a year because of alcoholism and depression. It's first pro win in 6 years. So
yeah, I think he's
that
a,
could be a birdie of the
I think
week.
he's a 3-time. I was thinking about it. I think he's a 3-time winner on the PGA Tour. So good to see him back in the
yeah.
lead column.
He's a name like if you're a golf fan like to follow like more than the average golfer like you know or bet on it you know who Chris Kirk is.
Yeah, a good feel good story of the week.
Yeah.
Where was the Corn Ferry Tour event?
I have
No
no
idea.
clue.
Probably not.
Can I go back to I want to go back to the Nick Watney thing because Sergio said that he thinks others deserve the virus more.
That was
I-
probably just like a bad quote, to be honest.
Yeah, that's
I
probably
just-
just an out of
He said
context quote.
he said where's
He was
the
probably just
quote?
saying that
Where's the
Nick Watney's a
content?
nice guy. He's like, oh,
There's-
other people
there-
deserve that more.
There's a lot of people
But
that probably deserve to get COVID-19 more than Nick Watney.
I think he meant. I
and
think
he's
he
the
meant
one
like.
I got it.
I think he meant like Nick Watney's like a good guy.
Could have been
like,
a little bit of a language barrier,
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't
Who
know.
would think who would think he could like it? What if he
Who could he
actually
be
meant
referring
that?
to?
Who
I
could he be
don't know.
referring to?
Let's
I don't
not.
know, maybe
let's not
Pat-
speculate.
Patrick Reed, but Patrick Reed, Ian Poulter.
Yeah. I like honestly. Ian Poulter's grown on me.
Yeah, no,
Except this week
I don't mind
because
it.
he kind of.
I don't like him in the
screwed it
Ryder
up.
Cup. I don't like him in the.
Yeah.
I also don't like him. Also, Sergio doesn't like Tiger, so
He
maybe-
doesn't?
Not really.
Or they had beef a couple years ago, so maybe who knows? I don't know. Just saying.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just,
Just
saying
saying,
something.
Sergio, just be careful out there, okay?
Back
Like
to
you don't want to get COVID at this point right now, would you?
back to the Corn Ferry Tour. It was in Florida, and
Makes sense.
Where else?
he won 26 under.
Yeah,
a
those
lot.
tournaments are always like they're firing like 63 every day.
Like we don't pay that much attention to the Corn Ferry Tour, but this is Latourus guy, Will's Latourus or whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
He's like finishing top 5 in every Corn Ferry
Right.
tournament.
Maybe we
Like,
should get a
next
nice
year
little.
he might be Scotty Scheffler. Who knows?
Next year is next year's gonna be leading the points for Ryder Cup. By
He might make his way into my like wild card bet of the week on my
Yeah.
on my daily on my weekly column, just a top 5 or something in
Yeah.
the Corn Ferry Tour event. That's on. Actually, that's not on
interesting.
my.
I don't even
book,
know
though.
where the Corn Ferry is this week. Utah Championship,
Who
So
was
it's
it?
like
Sand
Utah.
Hollow.
Oak Ridge
Ah,
Country.
Sand Hollow is on our.
Golf course.
Who reached out to us? Somebody reached out to us with a vlog that they did from Sand Hollow.
Oh yeah,
Really?
same.
I
didn't-
Yeah,
I
didn't
play
see
there.
that.
I
was
was-
a sick golf
I was
course.
talking to him. I was like, I went to the hole and was like, "How was it?" He was like, I put like 3 balls in the canyon.
Yeah, I figured. I probably put more than that.
Yeah.
What hole
So.
do we have on there? That was from that.
I
Oh
forget-
no, it was it's number 7. That's right.
Yeah, number
Mm.
7.
Yeah.
So yeah, we want to go back to the Travelers Championship.
Yeah, all right. I'll preview the Travelers field this week, I guess. So Travelers Championship this week at TPC River Highlands in Cromwell, Connecticut. We have another stacked field. Also, Patrick Cantley and Paul Casey are back in the field this week, making their first starts since the break. You also have a couple players coming back who didn't play last week, Mark Leachman, Scotty Scheffler, Kevin Na. Like I said before, 33 of the top 40 players are in the field this week, so we're stacked again. This is the first event that's actually taking place, and it's an original spot on the calendar, so like this is when it was supposed to be played. Like, so the weather is.
I think we're gonna get back more into that because I think the Rocket Mortgage might be the same.
Yeah. So TPC River Highlands, 68, 41 yards, par 70. It's the second shortest course on the PGA Tour. Another Pete Dye design, so maybe Siwoo Kim again. We have 7 par 4s between 400 and 450 yards, which is kind of an interesting fact. And there's 2 par 4s or under 400, including a drivable par 4 15th hole, which is 296 yards, which is the second shortest par 4 on the PGA Tour apparently. So I think they're gonna tear that one up. Apparently.
What's the one at Riviera? That might be the shortest.
That could be, but whatever. A
But
par,
the most
par
difficult.
4 15th. I wonder
That's
there was a
even-
stat saying that like 95% of the field like goes for that green. Like
Oh,
296.
I actually remember this green because I remember it just from watching on TV. Yeah, it's actually you can mess up though just as easily.
Well, yeah, obviously.
That's most
but,
short
like,
par fours. On
I
the
think it
tour.
has a pretty high like eagle percentage just
Yeah.
because of the distance.
Yeah.
Important stats to look at this week: strokes gained off the tee, and par 4s gained 400 to 450 yards, which is like because there's 7 par 4s in that range. Par 5s gains are important. Usually on these shorter par courses, like you have to score well on the par 5s to like be in it. You need to birdie them at least. And as always, strokes gained, ball striking is always important.
Literally every week we say that.
Yeah, but like this week especially, I guess.
That's what we said last week.
I'm gonna say that every week.
Every week.
until we.
This
This
week
week
especially
especially, though.
is
Yeah.
ball strikes.
I swear I'm gonna go Mr. Miyagi on this fly that's going around.
Oh, it was.
see
I
it,
had that
yeah.
happen last week to me, and it was just going everywhere. I'm like,
A course horse this week, Bubba Watson. He's won like 3 times in the past like 10 years or whatever. He always plays in this tournament, so that's somebody to keep an eye out
I was looking at
for.
these past winners. I hadn't seen
Freddie
2014. I was saying Kevin Streelman earlier in general without even that knowledge that he was that he's won here before.
I mean, well, yeah, we'll go through it.
That
but
might be a good sleeper.
Ches Reavie, our guy, won last year. Bubba Watson the year before. Jordan Spieth, Russell Knox, Bubba Watson, Kevin Streelman. So, not bad.
So let's get into the DFS picks. Let's go Trevor first. Let's go
okay,
Trevor.
we'll go.
We'll mix up
reverse.
the
I like
order.
this.
Yeah.
So I'll go my first one, Ryan Moore. Not to be confused with Ryan Palmer because we always get those confused.
I mean, you got to confuse.
preface
when we
it-
were going through
I got
this
confused
before.
as I was
When
saying
Jason-
it earlier. I
When
was
Jason
saying,
Sobel told us that he interviewed Ryan Palmer and that Ryan Palmer was a member at Colonial Country Club,
it was Ryan Moore.
I put in my
Oh.
my weekly Golf City Bets article. Ryan Moore top 10 finish.
Messed it up.
Oh my
They
god.
both got cut, so it didn't end up mattering. So
And I was thinking oh, Ryan Palmer just finished top
Pretty
10
well
last
last
week.
week,
And
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a great pick. He's only
I was like
71,
Ryan
1,600
Palmer,
yards.
1,600.
1,600.
Ryan Moore.
But Ryan Moore,
Moore.
5. So apparently he's kind of could be a course horse here at River Highlands. He's 10 out of 12 cuts made here, 5 top 10s and 8 top 25s. So he's played he hasn't won, but he's played very, very well. And for his salary, I think it's very, very
That's
good
a good
value.
low value. Yeah.
For someone in the $6,000 range, he's very, very good value.
Yeah, hopefully he figures it out. I mean, he's been cut the last 2 weeks, but those are
Yeah,
only
but-
2 missed cuts of the year. So
And he's played well here, so I'm going. And
Yeah.
apparently, this is a course where course experience is very important compared to other tournaments.
yeah, I was reading somewhere that bookmakers and DFS makers don't really take into account course history as much.
Really?
when they do it.
Interesting.
I saw that on Roto Ballers or something.
Which I think that plays a big factor. If you like the course, you're
Yeah.
gonna play well.
Yeah,
at the course
that's
usually.
definitely it.
Like it's probably not the biggest factor, but momentum is probably a big factor as well. But
Yeah.
if you play well at course and you like a course, you're gonna play well every time you play it. So
Right.
most every time you play it. So yeah, that's my first pick.
All right, my first one is not the boldest pick. Obviously, anytime
Clearly.
you go with a high salary guy, they got to do well. But I really think Brooks Koepka is going to win, or has a good chance of winning this week. He played really well at the RBC. Played pretty damn well at the Charles Schwab. His both his driving accuracy and greens and regulation were at or above 70%, which is like insane for tour standards. He putted really well, and I think on a lot of like the short par fours, he's gonna do well. Just with his driver, I think he's 83rd in strokes gained off the tee, so
Okay.
I think he's gonna do well.
I mean, yeah, he's
finally picking it up.
Yeah,
a little
he's
bit.
getting there now.
Well, and I think one thing people didn't really know, he's had 8 straight rounds in the 60s.
Yeah.
So all the whole, like, ever since he came back, those 2 tournaments, he's shot in the 60s every single round.
And to think
but
we thought he was
played
gonna be
better
one
this
of those
week.
guys that like maybe didn't play well.
I know,
coming out of
yeah.
this,
Who
and
thought?
like he's coming out playing just as well as anyone else on the tour. So
Well,
Maybe-
he's probably
maybe he cares more. I don't know.
he's probably the best at just picking up and playing.
Oh,
He
he
does
probably
it all
yeah,
the
that's what
time.
I was,
Exactly,
that's also
yeah.
something you should think about. And also,
That's
like
very
I said,
that's very true.
like I said before, last week was U.S. Open week apparently. So
Yeah, I don't know. The week after, maybe.
yeah,
it won't
Father's
do
Day
well.
weekend. Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know. Maybe he's
We'll see.
kicking into gear. My first pick, I'm gonna go Scotty Scheffler, assuming he plays this week. He's at 7,600. He withdrew last week. I don't really know why, but he did.
I think he might be injured.
Maybe, but I think he's gonna play this week. He's supposed to be in the field. Just looking at his stats this year, he's strokes gained like off the tee 9th, par 4s gained in that 400 to 450. He's 11th, and he's 25th in par 5 scoring. So those are like the 3 big stats this week. And saying he didn't play last week, maybe he'll be fresh this week. And some of the guys who have been playing every week, who aren't used to playing every week, like I don't know. I think Scotty Scheffler could be a good pick at that value if he does play.
He was playing he was playing obviously really well before.
I mean, he's
COVID
probably
happened.
one of the rookie of the year, probably.
Yeah.
PGA. My second pick, I'm gonna go with the course horse, which is not surprising. I'm gonna pick Bubba Watson at 8,800, which is
I feel like it's not
a
that bad.
not a bad
No,
price.
it's not.
And like I was
The
diving
field,
into this,
too,
of the
especially.
field, I was diving into the stats, and I didn't realize that Bubba Watson was having like that good of a season. He's got 3 top 10s this year. All of his stats are like in the top like 20, like every stat that he has. So strokes gained off the tee 11th. He's won 3 Travelers, like I said before. His putting's been fantastic this year, which is something that you can't always say about him. And if he puts the ball striking and the putting together, like I don't know, that could be a really good week. And also he T7 2 weeks ago to Charles Schwab. So
Watch out for him in Augusta.
And I think with Koepka's stats can be kind of misleading
yeah, definitely.
because he's not somebody who's going to be like consistently but like good, but when he's on, and it appears he is right now, like he's going to be somebody who can win a golf tournament.
Yeah, when he wants to be good, he's really good.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like want to be like he's like he doesn't care about some.
But I feel like
tournaments.
right now I feel like he's locked in.
he's a
Yeah,
he's
I
a
think
big
he's
game
locked
player.
Yeah.
So my second one is Matthew Fitzpatrick at 8,100. I was pretty low on Matthew Fitzpatrick going into this like new season, I guess, whatever you really want to call it.
Second half
Yeah.
or whatever.
But last week his driving accuracy was 72%. Greens and regulation was 77%, which is pretty crazy. Played the par 5s at 11 under, par 4s at 5 under. The par 3s I think he was at even. He's made 19 straight cuts, which is like the second longest active streak on tour. I think he's playing really good golf right now. He's had like a really solid year too. He's 10 of 10 cuts this year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was actually thinking about picking him when I was looking over who to pick, but
right.
All right, so for my last pick, I'm going kind of what like Pat said this earlier. Kevin Streelman, 7,100. I'm basing this purely off of just history here. He's won year once. He was T15 a year ago, T8 two years ago. Clearly he knows his course. He knows how to play the course. He knows the course well. Hasn't played that great this year. I don't know if he played the past couple weeks, but he's like 6 of 16 cuts, which isn't that great.
Mhm.
But he loves this place. He knows how to play well.
Yeah, I
here.
was
think
looking at
this
him
could be a good
before
value.
you
Could be a
even-
good value pick if you need him.
Before you even like showed me on your screen that you had Kevin Streelman,
Mhm.
I was looking like through a bunch of people. I was looking through like Kevin Streelman. I was looking at Dylan Fratelli.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Streelman's a good one. Especially it's like a nice little nugget that he's actually won here too.
Yeah. Exactly.
I was looking at a lot of his stats that I liked. So
And
I
he's
think
the
that's
past 2 years, he's top 20 both each of the last 2 years. I think that's pretty.
we
good
might have
element.
to make a little edit on the skins lineup. We'll look into it. But
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, Trev has the value picks this week.
I do. I usually don't have the value picks.
That was last week. I had the value picks and it did not pay off. They both got cut. So
I feel like you could even make this into a lineup right now that we have. I mean,
probably
definitely could.
One big guy and a bunch of value guys.
But yeah, also head over to Golficity Bets Instagram for the skins.
I like our skins
IGTV
lineup.
series.
I like our skins lineup too.
We have some of the same picks.
Yeah, some of them are the same, but some of them aren't. So head over to that.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the betting segment. Last week with the best bet, I know I got screwed over. Like
I kind of I didn't get screwed over.
Well, I picked like the biggest lock of all time. So
yeah, yours you picked a -200 bet.
Yeah,
okay,
you
but
did.
like, but just based off of who he was and like he's made 13 straight cuts or something before that, like -200 was way like just not.
I agree.
Not good odd.
I saw that this week. Something to look for would be Jordan Spieth -200 to make the cut because I feel like he's one of those guys that like plays pretty well Thursday, Friday, and kind of falls off on the weekend, and the fact that he's won here before and plays well here.
Well, I'm just like so answer.
But that's not my best bet.
Answer was Answer was -200 to make the cut last week, and he finished second. So like,
shout out to me for picking him last week too.
True.
DFS.
The two guys that I've picked against in my two best bets, Sergio Garcia last week, I was like, oh yeah, this guy sucks. Shoots like 19 on.
Well, honestly, he like came back too. Like it was like a comeback, like 19 on.
Sergio,
yeah, no, that came out of nowhere.
Too. He was like
he
plus
is
like
actually pretty good on Pete Dye courses. I kind of found out, but
he played well at the Players
yeah.
Ago,
yeah, but that came out of nowhere. He shot 1 under the first round. And then the week before, Matthew Fitzpatrick ended up playing really well.
Yeah,
I mean that first week was tough to predict.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard to predict. So
maybe you
I'm
should
surprised we got
fading.
a winner that first week.
Maybe you should just start whoever I fade. You should not fade.
In the best bet, yeah.
Yeah. So let's start with
I'll go
you,
first.
Trevor, again.
My best bet took me a long time to figure out best bet. There's a lot of stuff I didn't really love, but
It's hard to find them on Mondays.
it is.
It really is. Yeah.
Xander Schauffele -120 tournament matchup versus Cantlay. Basically, this is all because Cantlay hasn't played yet.
So maybe you're just thinking he's a little rusty.
Yeah, a little rusty. Schauffele, he played well, then didn't play as well last week, but I think he could still easily can still play the way he played
I could
week
get
1.
behind this. I think.
And Schauffele is second in the field in driving par 4 efficiency from 400 450 yards.
Yeah.
too.
I mean, Xander's like an incredible player.
Yeah, exactly.
But Cantlay, like on paper, you might look at this and be like, I don't know, because his stats are crazy, but like
obviously Cantlay is very good and his stats are ridiculous, but I'm literally only taking that's the only thing I'm taking into account really that is against him. It's just he hasn't played the past 2 weeks. That's it.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that you picked those two because Schauffele and Cantlay are like two guys that I put up next to each other. As the same
they are.
Exact
I agree.
type of player.
I just don't know how Cantlay I mean who knows, Cantlay could go out I wouldn't be surprised if Cantlay went out and won this golf tournament but I just think Schauffele is gonna play better than this.
It's a good chance to take that Cantlay's not going to play well.
It's not like it's Schauffele's minus 200 favorites either. It's okay, you put,
and it's not like you're picking somebody like Kevin Streelman.
Exactly. You're
against
Cantlay. You're picking big name. You're just banking on the one and play a little bit better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So mine. Oh, go with your winner as well.
Winner. Sticking with, I think Abraham Answer might be the hottest player in golf right now. Just I know Webb won last week. Answer finished T14 2 weeks ago, solo second last week. He literally missed 7 greens all weekend. That's unbelievable.
With those Pete Dye greens.
With the Pete Dye greens.
Wasn't
he finished
he
7
18 for
greens.
18 on the last
for 18
day?
Yesterday. He's a very good putter too, and I mean 3,500. I don't know. I'm gonna ride with him. He almost won last week.
I like that.
Yeah,
sticking with my gut there.
So I'm going with Max Homa. He's -130 in a tourney matchup against Harry Higgs. I like a lot of Max Homa's stats. He's really good approaching the green, especially from some of the distances that we keyed in on this week. So if you're doing your own research, I think the 125 to 175 range in your proximity from there when you're approaching the green is a big one. And the only thing that Harry Higgs has going for him, what was it? He's 24th in strokes gained off the tee. But that was
better too.
That was about it. And Max Homa played really well last week.
He did everything but putt last week, and this week they're on different greens. This week they're on POA greens this week, and apparently Max Homa putts really well in those. So.
And if you think about it too, I was looking at how he did last weekend. par 5, par 4 scoring. And he actually was even on the par 4s. He was 5 under on the par 3s, which is pretty insane considering most of the guys I was looking at were like even on the par 3s.
Those are very difficult par 3s too.
Yeah, and the par 5s, he was something around 8 under or something like that. So I think he's a good pick over Harry Higgs this week. So unless the trend continues and he like wins.
Well, yeah, I was thinking about picking him for our skins lineup later, but like I don't, you didn't like it. So.
I did not. And then my winner, I'm sticking on the same thing as my DFS, Brooks Koepka at plus 2,200. I feel like always got to throw one of those feelers out there with a big name.
I literally when looking at this, I'm like, you know what? I think Justin Thomas is gonna win this week. I'm like, oh, he has the best odds. Probably not gonna do that.
Yeah, that's why it's just not good.
Or
But like
worse
anything
odds.
above like 20 to 1, I think is worth it. Especially when a guy like Brooks Koepka, with as good of a field, guys like Brooks Koepka, like that are like still all the way up there, aren't gonna have as good of odds. I think. I don't know. I think there's value in that.
I think
especially the way he's playing.
And he's playing. Might be playing as one of the best guys, like in the top like tier. Like he's playing like Justin Thomas up there, but like I think he's playing better than Rory.
Right.
DeChambeau is, I don't know, but he can.
Interesting to see how DeChambeau plays this week.
I know.
Yeah,
60 yards.
It's a little bit more of an open course this week compared to last week.
Yeah.
Okay, so my best bet, I'm sticking on the Bubba Watson train, and I'm gonna go with Bubba Watson plus 110 over Dustin Johnson. A lot of people are picking Dustin Johnson this week, but I just think Bubba Watson is such a course horse, and to get him at plus 110.
I was gonna say I like the
Dustin Johnson,
value with that.
Yeah, I
like
do too.
I don't know. I like
you don't
that
have to
a
lay
lot.
any extra.
Exactly.
Extra dough.
So I think that's like my pick this week is, I just saw the odds and I was like, oh, that should probably be like even-ish. You know, I mean, it almost is, but my winner this week, I'm gonna go with Joaquin Niemann. He's one of the hotter players coming back since the break. He's T32 2 weeks ago and T5 last week. He had a couple of really good rounds at Harbortown. He played pretty well yesterday. Made some really long, tough putts, and he's having a pretty impressive season so far. So, I think he's one of those guys that's just due, and he's plus 5,500, so that's pretty good value.
Yeah, he was making some insane putts.
So I think he might take that last round and kind of run with it going into the next tournament. So we'll see.
Yeah,
how he does.
Who was I saying? Oh, I think I was looking into Dylan Fratelli a lot this week, but I think he's the Jason Kokrak this week, if that's how you pronounce his name.
Mm-hmm.
That where he like just had like a really sick last round, but I don't think he's gonna run.
I mean,
with it.
Neiman played well all week, so I think he could do well this week.
Yeah, I think you can take that one of two ways because he played it well all week. So
I mean, usually I'm a big like stats guy and I look for the stats and stuff. I didn't really look at the stats this week for this pick. It was just kind of like a feeler. I think Neiman might play well.
I mean, he's a good ball striker.
Yeah.
What's next? Right. Every week we're starting a new thing where we do a first round leader to give you guys. I mean, those are always like a ton of value.
The value on first round leaders is crazy. Like
go to Martin Trainer is like the last valued player in it, and like a guy like
35,000.
Yeah, so that's 350
okay,
to 1.
but the best Bryson DeChambeau has the best odds. He's plus 2,000, which is not bad for a first round leader.
Yeah, and I mean, this one you can literally pick someone like completely random too and get like lucky, and you can have
shared the lead.
A lot better chance to have someone completely random lead the first round than someone like then win the tournament.
I'm just remembering this right now. Last year at this very golf course, I picked Paul Casey first round leader, and he was leading the entire day.
What was it, like plus 4,000?
It was like plus 4,000 or 5,000. He was leading the entire day, and I picked him, and I was like, oh yes, I'm finally gonna hit a first round leader. Like this is gonna be great. I'm gonna have so much money going into this. I had like $30 on it or something for that like price, and gets to the last hole. And I think he triple bogeyed the last hole and was second place going into the next day by one stroke.
Yeah,
I was so mad.
That's heartbreaking.
Because he was just rolling, and then like one bad hole, and he wasn't the first round leader.
So Paul Casey could be a candidate.
He
plays well. He played well
last year too. Yeah. I also thought it was funny when we were discussing this earlier. we were like debating for like a good solid like 5 minutes between Jordan Spieth and Daniel Berger, and Daniel Berger's not even in the field. We're like Jordan Spieth or Daniel Berger. Like I don't know, Daniel Berger isn't playing really well.
I was like, wait, who has better odds?
Like,
and
we
can't
find Daniel Berger in the field. We're like, is he not playing this tournament? And we're like, nope, he's not playing this.
Made it a pretty easy decision.
Yeah.
We're going with Jordan Spieth.
Yeah,
55-1.
He plays well on Thursdays, so
yeah,
that's
literally last Thursday, 7 birdies and 9 holes.
Yeah, that's the rationale there. That Jordan Spieth is he's plus 5,500, and he just goes off on Thursdays.
And he's played well here before.
We didn't even talk about how last week at RBC he triple bogeyed like the 3rd hole, and then birdied like 7 of 9 hole or 8 of like 10 holes to finish it.
Yeah,
or something.
he made 7 birdies on the front 9, which is his back 9. 7 birdies on 9 holes.
Yeah,
shot 29
on his last 9 holes. That was crazy.
That was the second week in a row that somebody's like triple bogeyed early on. I'm pretty sure, and played a good round.
Who was it last week?
Harold Varner triple bogeyed the first hole and then like shot like.
I do remember that. I think it was on Friday.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was on Friday of that tournament. But that was, yeah.
Right.
Those guys one of us makes triple bogey. We're like, all right, our round's done. We're screwed. Like we're just like, all right, like check out. They make triple bogey and then it's just like, okay, I'm gonna make 7 more birdies, 8 more birdies.
So yeah, we're gonna be giving you a first round leader every week from now on as well. So let's cap it off with the birdies and bogeys of the week. Let's just continue with the trend. Trevor, go first.
I have 2 bogeys.
Two bogeys. Okay.
One of them, Carlos Ortiz and his caddy didn't rake the bunker on 18.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I saw that like Ryan Palmer was like Ryan Palmer, right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Palmer said who did this, and someone said Carlos Ortiz. I'm like, oh, that's someone's in trouble. Like, I got a tweet on Twitter account like someone's in big trouble about that. Like,
yeah, I was confused what happened when
yeah,
because I wasn't listening with volume. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think I was like listening to music and
someone
I was like,
someone just didn't rake the bunker. I think Ryan Palmer's caddy was ranking the bunker that Carlos Ortiz did not rank.
Pat, did you rake the bunker on 18?
No, my caddy did. Probably my caddy did.
My other bogey is the Travelers this week, as we talked about, and we can't go, even though we live an hour and a half away, which is very disappointing for all of us, just because
sucks.
Like the one tournament we're actually like close to, like Winged Foot at U.S. Open, we would have gone to that probably too, but like the Common Man Golf Tournament, Travelers Championship, pretty much. Gone to see our boy Ches Reavie.
We were discussing this before. It would have been our coming out party with Ches Reavie.
I know.
Still has an open invitation to come on, but
yeah, whenever he wants to come on.
He locks his comments on Instagram. He posted like, "Can't wait to be back at the Travelers." And
he locked him again. He had him
and
on.
I was gonna like comment like something
way.
like super like that
why
he could like
lock
notice
him?
us.
What does he have, like,
and he has the comments locked, and I'm like, oh come on, Ches.
What kind of like why does he need the comments locked? Why is I get like Koepka or something like that, but like why he need the comments locked?
I don't know.
I don't know. We've discussed this on the podcast before, but it's bad PR.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like Ches, if you're listening to this, we can help you grow.
Honestly, that was my bogey of the week. Ches Reavie with his locked comments. I was gonna go slide right into those comments, and they were locked.
All right, there you go. That's your bogey. You can go. I'll go third.
Yeah, birdie of the week.
I did my birdie,
Trevor didn't go for yours.
I couldn't really think of one, but big birdie of the week is. Apparently, we played with these guys yesterday. We had a match. My dad and I won a match yesterday. And we played these 2 guys, and one of them's played Pine Valley for 15 years in a row. And with this other guy goes to our club, and he said there's a chance that we could get on this summer. Apparently, I looked in the email from my dad, and apparently the course is like closed right now. But apparently, if it's open,
that would be
we
big.
could be staying at Pine Valley. And apparently, I didn't know this at all, but Pine Valley's guest experience is wild. Like
what are you saying? Like
you stay 2 nights. You play like 1 o'clock on like the first day and like 8 a.m. the second day, and the place you stay in, the cabins have an 8-9 hole mini golf course in the back, or like putting green in the backyard to put like people like bed on to like 1 a.m. Like they have lights, and they have a par 3 course that recreates every single approach shot on the course like to exact specifications.
That's nuts. That's like
video
game.
And a course like Pine Valley is like the sickest golf course in the world.
Top 100, like number
top
1.
Yeah,
like 2019.
And just like the rest of the experience, like you wear cigars are allowed inside the clubhouse, but not on the course, just because they don't want the cigar butts on the course.
Gotcha.
There's a separate pro shop for guests and members. So if you see someone wearing a Pine Valley shirt that says Pine Valley on it, you know they're not a member because the the
So
members.
everyone's gonna know you're a rookie when you're there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The caddies, like
Some
apparently
elitist
this guy like who I played with yesterday said he's had the same caddy there for 15 years. Like that
must be a special bond.
Yeah, they come back and they're like Mr.
probably
Mr.
just
Shaughnessy,
boys,
how are
yeah.
you? Like good to see you again. Treats him like a member. One thing I did know, my dad told me a story. Apparently like the caddies they bet on the players too, and so. My dad was playing.
That must be fun.
He's telling me this process,
Do
how
they
caddies.
get to see the opening tee shot before they lay their bets?
I don't know. I have no idea.
How
you see him on the range.
You see him on the range. How do you know?
But apparently, these caddies have this whole system where they caddy for the summer months, then they go to the docks, the shipyard, and they do work there. They get laid off, collect unemployment as they're caddying, and they're getting $300 cash around. It's just this whole system. They go do back and forth, back and forth.
Scheme.
But
because that's all under the table, cash.
all under the table, cash, straight cash. But my dad was telling me a story about how he's playing the first hole. He and his friend are playing with these two guys who are members, and my dad said he and his friend are just taking in the scene. They're looking around the course. My dad's has a putt for birdie, and the putt the other guy has a putt that far away for par, and the caddy asks my dad's oh, is that good? My dad's oh yeah, that's good, whatever it is. And the caddy under his breath goes what assholes, jeez.
What, because they're betting on it?
No, because they didn't give him a putt like that or something like that. The caddies do not like non-members apparently.
Oh really?
They just do not like them.
Damn.
I don't know what the deal is,
I
but
can see why.
apparently, but if I do that experience would be just nuts.
That'd be
Once in a
Yeah.
lifetime
I mean, your dad's done it
experience.
before, right?
Huh?
He's played before?
He's played twice. He's birdied the first 2 holes the first time he played it.
Crazy.
And then
shot
probably
85, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was my birdie, the birdie and bogey.
Wow.
That might be a goated birdie.
That might. If,
Yeah, I was about
if
to say,
I-
my
if
birdie's
that-
not
if
anywhere
that
near
happens, if that happens, which I don't even know if it will due to COVID, but
That's
if
the
that
goal
happens,
for a
that's yeah.
Okay, so I did my bogey already. I guess I'll go with my birdie, mic'd up players again. Adam Hadwin.
Mic'd up players are nice.
Adam Hadwin was mic'd up in I think the first round, and I think he had a rule thing where he moved sand.
there was
He
a-
thought it was a bug, but or
It was
something.
he thought it was a pebble, but it was actually a clump of sand.
Yeah, and he lost 2 strokes or something on that. I think he made the cut anyway, but anyway, he lost 2 strokes, and then
That's a stupid rule.
he's Canadian, so as the guy's going away, he's thank you. Actually, I mean screw you, but thank you. and away, and on the 18th hole, he hit a bad shot coming in, and he was can you guys turn the mics off for a second, please?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just you just see the personalities of these guys when they're mic'd up, and
Wesley
I love it when they
Bryan
are
and
mic'd up.
who was it? Wesley Bryan and somebody else.
Couldn't tell
Bubba.
you.
maybe.
Bubba.
I think they were mic'd up yesterday. It was really funny as well.
Yeah, no, I like
Wesley
seeing
Bryan
them
played
mic'd up.
yesterday.
Yeah.
I know Wesley Bryan played
They
yesterday.
were, him and Bubba were paired up. I think that's a good thing to do. If you have someone like Bubba Watson who's not really in contention,
Yeah.
and you if they're a good guy, they'll be yeah, sure, you can
If it's
get me on Sunday.
Good guy, not really contention. Maybe they're not grinding for all the money that they really need, or something like that. If it's Justin, maybe it's Justin Thomas or something like that. I know he said he wouldn't do it, but Justin Thomas a Sunday.
I could see him coming around on something like that.
On Sunday, if he's
Once he's not in contention,
if he's one the first group's off, he's not in contention. I can see him just being yeah, why not? I'll do this. Can we talk about even players that weren't mic'd up, you could still hear a lot of things that were not mic'd up. You hear John Rahm's
That's the thing with no fans.
Pete fucking die or something like that. I hate Pete fucking die.
There was 2 F-bombs in 10 minutes.
Yeah, John Rahm sleep both of them.
Beginning
And
of
then
the CBS broadcast.
Oh
again.
yeah, it was the caddy actually.
Caddy.
It was the caddy. He was this is the stupidest design.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
That makes more sense. But there was a couple other ones too that I can't remember. But it's mic'd up players is fun.
I like it so
Yeah,
far.
I like it too.
I think, but I didn't see it live though.
I saw it. I
It's
saw
not
it
you
big
see
in
the
the first.
highlights.
I
Yeah,
saw
you
it
see
big in the
highlights.
first round. I was watching Adam Hadwin. I don't know why.
I watched Hadwin a little bit. In the
It was
first
funny
round.
because it was feature
really
group,
fun to hear.
feature group, and then Adam
Hadwin.
Hadwin and somebody who random who he's playing with.
Yeah, exactly.
And then did you have a?
I did my.
You did yours.
already.
All right, so my birdie of the week is the first tee of America is allowing they built it into their or the PGA built it into their contract with Korn Ferry Tour that they have to give access to the first tee of America to all their courses. So that's nice.
That's nice.
All the Korn Ferry Tour events on the courses.
That is cool.
And then my bogey, I don't really have a bogey. I don't know. Nothing really bad happened this week.
Good week.
Pretty good
Just a
week.
good week.
Let me
Yeah.
think. I got one.
Didn't get to play golf that much this weekend.
I have one. Okay.
Yeah.
The patty, like loopy slices back.
Oh,
On my
you
dri-
said
on
that
my
in the
driver.
car.
Yeah.
In the car on the way here.
It's so bad.
Maybe that was our fault for trying to hit the ball like 100 or
No.
300 yards.
It was
like,
because I hadn't played in like a week, and I think I'm just rusty. Because by the end of the round, I was starting to figure out, but like I was hitting the loopy slice on my driver.
maybe that's
and I was
just like your old swing comes back when like you don't play for a while.
Yeah,
So
you
don't
that's
play
just,
for a
like,
while.
Your muscle memory.
It takes like a couple days just to get back into it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I have another birdie. Just the quality of golf in the tournaments
Oh, yeah,
that have been played
definitely.
that last.
Yeah, the
came out.
past two Sundays have been so entertaining.
I
and,
don't know
like,
if that's to
this
do with no fans, just like the
Saturday
quality,
was
the fields.
incredibly entertaining.
Oh my god, it was. But like both tournaments were so much fun to watch. Both of them.
Oh yeah.
And the
Yeah.
people like in contention. It's awesome. I love golf back. Love
An
sports back.
honorable mention birdie. I'm playing Andover Country Club in Mass on
Mhm.
Thursday morning. Also kind of a bogey though because the tee time's at 11:18, and I'm
Oh yeah, you have to drive.
and I close on Wednesday at
Do you
Silver
really?
Spring, so I'm gonna be closing, getting home late, then in the morning, waking up at like 6:30 or something.
Oh
to,
my God.
to go. But
Play
I'll be-
11-18
I'm
tee
playing a
time.
nice. It has a 570-yard par 5 that I'm just gonna get absolutely
driver 3-wood 5-iron.
destroyed by. Literally. If I don't hit, if I got the loopy fade going on a long, it's not even that long of a course.
driver.
It's only 6,700 yards, but there's just some holes that are just like
Really long.
Dummy
485
long.
yard
Yeah.
par 4. You said.
yeah, it's
That's long.
it's
Maybe
tough.
this will be your first driver off the deck experience.
I hit driver off the deck
I've
yesterday.
never hit driver off the deck.
I hit one on the
before.
range yesterday, like just like for fun. I hit like so well. I'm like, oh my god, and I hit the next one like so bad. I'm like, okay, that makes more
Here's the
sense.
thing: my 3-wood off the deck is insane right now. Like, I'm hitting it so well.
The
But,
3-wood's so sick too.
I got a 3-wood coming on Thursday.
Right, you got that with like some credit.
Yeah, I got some credit and bought a
What'd you get?
Callaway Epic Flash 3-wood.
You're a big.
It
You're a big.
It goes
Callaway
with my
guy.
driver.
Yeah,
It
you're a big
goes with my
Callaway
And your
driver
3-wood.
and my
Callaway
three-
guy.
Or
three
three hybrid, yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like
Callaway
the
guy.
feel of my driver. I figured maybe I like the feel of my
Big Phil guy.
3-wood. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Other than that, what do we got next week? The Rocket Mortgage.
Yes,
Sure.
Rocket. I looked up.
I'm gonna have
Rocket
to do some. I'm
Mortgage.
gonna have to do some research about the Rocket Mortgage because I think that's played in Detroit.
It is.
Speaking of the Rocket Mortgage, that TV anchor who was trying to chirp me on Twitter's from like Detroit.
let's get him on.
The verified. No, he's verified. I don't.
Oh,
Do I want him on? Probably not.
What, Justin Rose?
Yeah, his name's
The fake-
Justin
fake
Rose.
Justin
Fake
Rose.
Justin Rose.
He was
Fake
saying
Justin Rose.
something. He was like talking to. Who was he talking to?
I don't even know.
Max Homa. He's talking to Max Homa on
Couldn't
Twitter.
tell you.
He's like, I need you. He's like, I need you to be on this segment during Rocket Mortgage Week. And Max Homa obviously didn't reply. I go, your name is so misleading. I feel like he could have been like thinking
Yeah,
he
and
was
then-
having
and then
on
he, like,
doing something with
attacked
Justin
you.
Rose. And then he just like started attacking me. He's like, you've never been pinned high in your life. I was like, okay, never
Okay.
claimed to be. And then I was like, I've been high around the pin many a times. And then he just
He had absolutely no idea.
he had
what we were
no
talking about.
idea
Yeah.
that I was what I was talking about, and it wasn't golf. But
Yeah,
so
no,
he,
being a
he-
verified Justin Rose commenting on
on a golfer's
golf
thing, like
yeah,
that's just so misleading.
it
You
is
can't
well.
you
Oh,
can't
yeah.
do that.
yeah.
Rule number 1 of Twitter: don't be named Justin Rose and be verified and do stuff on golf Twitter.
Yeah, that's rule number
That's
one.
rule number 1. Quote
Justin
it. Quote
Rose.
that. Put a nice
Justin
little thing over
Rose.
it.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, we'll see you at Rocket Mortgage Week. Hopefully you
Win some money this week.
win some money this week because
Tune
that's
in
where.
to us on Skins on Golf City Bets.
Yep, Tuesday. Oh, I guess it's already out by the time this comes out. But go to Golf City Bets on Instagram and follow that. And yeah, we'll see you at Rocket Mortgage Week.